They say, hold on to this time we have and let the light shine through. Welcome to Faceted Bead. It's Friday Live, and I'm here to teach jewelry. Give me a second. I'm going to push this over from my personal feed over to my Faceted Bead page. Because until I get 100 followers on Faceted Bead, I can't do a live there. So I have to put the live over here on. Let me share it over to my Faceted. What you've been making? I got a few things to show. They say, hold on to the ones you love and keep them close to you. They say, hold on to the stuff we have and let the light shine through. It'll be nice when I don't have to do this every time. Oh, okay, I'm on there. Now I'll go back so I can read my comments as we chat. And there I am. There are times when okay, I'm on there. Okay. Hey, good morning. Hey, I have some goodies to show. It's always about design with me. So if you want to be inspired or you want to learn how to make jewelry, whatever level, my fun part is designing. And today I'm being a little risky on what I'm going to do, but it's always good to push yourself a little bit, right? So today I'm going to push myself, and my little pup is over here being a little needy. So hopefully he will get a hold of that bone and give me some time. I see you. You want to say hi? Would you like to say hi? Come on, get a little lovin's. He's a little needy right now. He wants attention. Don't you want attention? Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Say I'm live right now. Come on, go get your bone. Why don't you go get your bone? Oh, thanks for the kiss. Go get your bone. Go get your bone. Here. Here's your bone. There you go. Okay. I'm wondering how the sound is. Make sure my headset is off so we don't have any distractions with that. And here is what I'm going to show you this morning. This is what I was showing you a little bit yesterday. So it's kind of dog day a little bit. It's always dog day with me. I always, the weather's getting to be, it's going to change, and I'm always thinking the dogs are going to be in the house. And so it pushes me and drives me a little more to do a little bit more with my dogs. And I have, collected their rabies tags and their name tags. And these are the ones that have passed that have been special to me. And I was like, what do you do with them? So I made a necklace out of them. And then I just added charms. Some of them they've lost their name tags. They often lose their name tags. They get caught on something. And so I just took some of these little cool charms, little star, little leaf, little heart. Here's a little flower. And I just made a charm out of them. Now, if you don't like tingly, it is a little noisy to wear, but it's my little keepsake. And while I was doing it, I have these other ones that some dear lady sent this to me when my first dog died. And that was my favorite dog, my first dog, of course. And she sent that to me. So I'm thinking of what to do with that. And then this was one of my dogs that's passed. It was its name collar. Isn't that cool? So I went and put some patinas on it because it looked kind of cartoonish. I love how it turned out. I put the paint on, then I sanded and highlighted the raised pieces, and I love how it turned out. That was Enza. Anyway, I don't know that I want to put it on this one. I think this one's complete the way I have it. So this one might, I don't know. Maybe this is a keychain. Maybe I hang this one in my car or on my mirror. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. That's the fun thing with jewelry. You get to pick what you want to do. So I wanted to show you those. My little dog day. I've not told the story of my dogs. My hubby is, somewhat of a farm type guy, and he always said, no dog in the house. So, and I used to tease him, well, when you die, I'm going to get a dog, and I'm going to name it Zany. And he'd say, over my dead body, there'll be no dog in the house. And so time went on, and we've had dogs now in the house for the last, 15 years. But what happened was he came home. He said, I learned that dogs build a lot of joy. You can go ahead and get a dog. Well, I wanted a dog so bad. I already knew what breeder I was going to get it from. I already knew what kind, because German Shepherds are my favorite. And that's one dog I always like to have. And the other ones have been, things we found and that kind of thing, foster dogs or whatever. But, I ordered my dog, and it was the best dog. That was Yari. That was my first German Shepherd. That dog was that was an incredible dog. So I love that dog. Then I got, I guess I got Enza then, and then I got the one I got now, Giselle. Giselle's a pretty awesome dog too. They're all uniquely different. I think it's just your first is just, extra special. And so here's another piece design I wanted to show you. This was a leather cord. I just wire wrapped the leather cord. It's very long, so it's just connected. There was these beads I got. They were together. I got them something used. I wanted to keep them together. I thought they looked so cool. So I used steel wire here, and I added this is probably a souvenir type Maryland. That's where I'm from. Originally, that's where my heart always is, in Maryland. And so I attached that and added a few charm beads to it, flowers, leaves. So that was that fun. I wear that one. It looks really good with a green top or a white top. So that's show and tell there. And then I wanted to show you this one. This is a little show and tell. This is Zane's granddad had a house in Thomas, West Virginia, and this was the key to the house, and I wanted to do something special with it, and so I had my good friend take it and put a bead on it, and that's, it's a little bit of, that was a custom job to get her to put that on there, and then I just added a charm heart to it with some twisted jump rings, and then just tied leather onto it to wear it over my neck. I don't wear it very often, and I think I did make this to, I did make it so it can slide if I want to make it shorter. I usually don't. I put it on over my head and wear it that way, but that's just one, maybe a house key. A house key would be cool. Say it was your first house or whatever, you could take a house key and wrap it in a cool cloth. I have one of those too. Yeah, right here. I'll show it to you. This is another idea where you can take an old key or a regular key, wrap it in cloth, then wrap it in metal and add some seed beads to it to give it a little shine, a little jewelry look. And I also did it to the top there, and I just added this little drop bead. And that's just one other idea. Keys are fun. I have a whole thing of keys. You can paint keys. You can, and I added it to chain. I added an end to it. I like to add a little dangle to things. That's a little bit, oh no, that's just at the very end. I stuck that on the very end. I love buttons. That's an old vintage button that I just added to the end. So that's the key ideas. We'll probably make one of these one time. And something strikes my fancy. That's the fun thing. It's being, You do what you like when it strikes your fancy, right? So they're the just ideas. Here's the other one that I had that I showed. Just a Maryland type souvenir. It's a pocket knife. I found it in my stepdad's jewelry box. And I thought, I'm just going to make me some keepsake out of that because Maryland's very special to me. So that's that in a nutshell. Let's get into what I'd like to make today. So I'm stretching myself a little further today in what I'm going to do. And, doing lives is new. I've made a bunch of earrings, and we can make a set of earrings. Let's see if I can make the screen get closer. It's interesting how some weeks it lets me do it. And then, hey, good morning there, Sarah. I see you on there. There we go. It's let me get a little closer so you can see. Good. So what I want to do today is that we can make a bracelet, but I want to show you the components. The gal that I follow, Candy Cooper, is very awesome in her color designs. These are beads I got from her. She does a great job in color coordinating. Now I saw these and I was like, oh, they're luscious too, aren't they? And then these were some of it, what was in my stash. So I added some of those, and I have a few of those here on the side that I might add or use or not use. I don't know. And then I've bought this kit from her, which, like, oh my gosh, is that like, look at the colors, all that. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm just like, it's better than ice cream. I just love all those colors. Look at that. I mean, look at that. So what I want to make is a necklace and a bracelet and a pair of earrings out of these. So of course, these little fans, I'm going to set those aside. These little pieces here, I don't know, they probably go into the earrings. I don't know. Maybe I should make the earrings first to make sure. Oh, it looks like they gave 4 of these. So anyway, and then they got these little stars. I'm going to put those in the earrings, at least 2 of them. So these can go in the bracelets. See, look at those, aren't they? Look at these going with that. I'm really liking them. So I don't know if you've ever used a board. I don't really use a board. I always have a ruler. This ruler right here is always laying in front of me. And I know that my wrist is a 7.5 is a typical wrist size that people make. I always just make it and measure it by that. But I wanted to show you there's these. These are, I've just collected these out of used things. And like if I would teach someone, I would just show them that you can lay this here and then, that's 7, make your bracelet on that. So I don't know if we're going to make it on that. We can maybe give it a try and see if I like that. But, yeah, it's hard for me to change my ways right now on that. Anyway, so let's see. Okay. The next thing we would need is, a little soft flex. And I keep things simple when I do jewelry, only because there's so many sizes and there's so much stuff out there color wise. So I try to tend it mostly with silver, but I do add a little gold and other colors because I like mixed metals. I do. But to keep things simple for me, I always have medium. And then now, because I've been into gemstones and I find the gemstones holes are really small, I have gotten some fine, but soft flex is my go-to. I will tell you my other go-to that I always do is I get 2. If you look on here, it's medium, 49 strand, 100 foot. And usually it tells you the size of crimp to use, but it doesn't on there. But anyway, these are 2mm crimps. I always buy sterling silver crimps, and then I buy plated sterling silver bead covers. These are a bead cover, and I always have those. So they're like things I always have in my stash. They are good things to just have because say I want to make a bracelet. So right now I'm going to cut off some soft flex to make my bracelet. And I will say, it's always better to be generous. Your bracelet's going to be, let's just say, your bracelet's going to be 7.5. Your class is going to be an inch. But you know, when you do your ends, you need to like at least 1 inch on both sides. So let's just say, to be safe, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5. So I'm going to do 10 inches because I like to be safe. Yes, Sarah, bead covers are a real pain, but you know, I like them. And you know, they did come out with a crimp tool that it makes a little bead, but you know, I use it and I can demonstrate it sometime, and it makes these cute little beads. And I pull on them and they're nice and tough, you know, strong. They stay on there, but I don't know. I always go back to the bead crimp. And I'll tell you, I take them off if I don't like them. And I'll tell you, taking those things off and doing them again is a booger. You could literally have to, now I have crossed my fingers. I haven't had to redo anything, but they're kind of a booger. Okay, let's get some of these because we want some of these luscious stones in here. I wish I could remember what they are. Maybe Sarah knows what these are. Are these rose quartz? I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not good at my stones. I'm good at loving them. I'm good at using them, but I'm not good at naming. Because stones, I mean, golly, look at these. Like these, I love stones because they're so organic. They're just organic. Look how organic that is. I love organic. Now some stones are cut very organic, but are very symmetrical, all the same. But organic is like, I love organic. Anyway, so what I want to do is I always put a little clamp on the end of my wire. And let me get 2 crimps out. So we're ready because we're going to do both ends. And my problem when I do a bracelet is I always make it too long, and then I got to go back and decide what I want to keep in it. So today I'm going to try not to do that, but we'll see how it goes because that's life and I like enjoying it. So I love these beads here. I want to put some of these in. I know I want to put some of these in. I know that these look really nice. I know these are nice. Look at that. I know I want to put one of these. Let's see how those hearts are. Oh, they go across the side. I see how that is. That's a cute design. And look, there's a few little pearls in here. That's interesting. We'll put those pearls up there with the earrings. Didn't notice the little pearls. So let's see. So here is a bracelet that I did that you could get an idea from. Here's the clasp. I love that clasp on there. And then I added a little flower there. I put in between, I put some large beads, put these flower beads, this glass bead. And then I put these, oh gosh, I'm losing my stone remembrance today. It's my favorite one. It's my favorite beads. Anyway, and then these cool fake pearls. I love how that turned out. So the other thing I always am contemplating on is, okay, what kind of clasp do I want to put on the end? And I actually got this because I just think this is so cool looking. I just love this. Oh, thanks, Marion. She says it's rose quartz. And so did Sarah. Thank you. I figured that's what it was. It's so pretty. Maybe one day I'll learn those stones. I did stay away from them for quite a few years until everybody started getting into them. Because I'm like, yeah, I don't know the names of those. I don't know the names of those. I don't know the names of those. Then the other thing I wanted to do is add some seed beads in between. And then I got these few colors that I like that I wanted to do. I have the seed bead colors now. I like these. These are a little darker and these are a little lighter. So it's just a matter of preference. And I think I will go with the lighter ones. Put a little of those out. So I think I will add, this is going to be my end because I'm in love with that hand. I love hands. I love faces and I love feet. But it's funny. I like realistic look. So see, that's so realistic looking. You know, I should have just made earrings out of those. I'm just going to have to order some more of those. That's all there is to it. So we're going to crimp this end. I'm going to put my little, let's see if I'm on screen. I'm going to put my little 2mm bead crimp. Going to pull my soft flex through, and then see, it takes about 1 inch or so. And then I'm going to pull it. It's not too tight. What you want is you want to have good movement in something. You don't want it to be so tight. And actually, if I pull it as tight as I can, it still has good movement. So you make sure the wires are laying straight across from one another. Let me find my tool. And my favorite one right now is this one. This one is the Xeron. It's been getting stuck though, so I'm not sure what's going on there with that piece there. I think it's broke or something. I'm going to have to investigate that, but it still works. So I make sure that both of my wires are flat in that tube. And I pull it all the way back to the very back portion of that tool where that teeth comes down, because what's going to happen is it's going to put a mark and squash. See, it squashed it. Can you see that? It squashed it right in half. See that right in half? That's the cool. And if you tug that right now, it's not going anywhere. Then you turn it sideways and you go up to the second groove in this tool. And you try to leave it straight up and down like that. And then you squeeze it. I always go back. Yeah, I think my tool is broken. My handle's coming off. I have to investigate that because this is like one of my favorite tools. I always go back and just double check it with the end of the tool. Make it sure it's nice and snug. Nice and snug. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and finish that off. Cut that wire off as close as I can. Snip her off. I could add my bead cap now and just show you, since we're talking bead caps. Now these I believe I got these were sterling plated. The gold ones probably aren't plated. They could have been, I don't remember. I just know when I bought them, I bought the silver and the gold. So what I do is I make sure that I'm going to, okay, this is the top. And then I make sure I push the cap down parallel so that the opening will be on the bottom. And you'll see, it's not ever perfect. It never really is. It would be nice if there was a tool that nicely pushed. Maybe you can come up with that, Sarah. Maybe you can. Oh, opals, you're right. Thanks, Sarah. Maybe you could come up, Sarah, with a tool to sell that would put this bead cap on nicely, because look at that. There's the bottom of my hand. So we know we got it on there, right? I got it nice and snug. And then I just take this tool. Now I'm a little handicapped because this tool is broken, but I'm just going to squeeze it together. And technically it should go together nicely, but it always gives a little bit of its own. See that? It's more like a clam, but it looks nice. But I'll bet you could come up with a tool if it had something round on it. Now see, I just leave it like that because I'm just really trying to cover that up. And look, I got it slid over. No big deal. I'm happy with it. I would have liked it to have been over a hair over because it's showing it, but no big deal in my mind. But I love that hand. Love, love. The other thing we could have done is put some seed beads on it and come around and done it. And that would have been kind of nice looking too with this design. But again, I will add way too much to a bracelet. Always, unfortunately. So I'm going to use up some of these. These are pretty little pinks. I'm going to put this in between these. I'm going to put some of these seed beads. I like these seed beads. I like adding a little contrast. There. I'll put about 5 on. I always do things in about 3, 4s, and 5s. No, excuse me, 3, 5s, and 7s. They just kind of complement one another. Do you guys do that? Oh, that's a good idea, Sarah. Change the shape of the covers rather than get another tool. Yeah. Oh, that's right, Maureen. Today's the birthday girl. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Tina Lutz. Happy birthday, dear buddy. Happy birthday to you. Now, I do make jewelry a lot better than I do sing, but you are special. And we want you to know that we appreciate you on your birthday, the day you were born. Look at those pretty beads. And these are those beads that Tina raved about, these beads. She didn't like them at first. And then Maureen fell in love with them. And now Tina fell in love with them. And these are the first ones I ordered. And I'm in love with that color, but they are nice. The size is great. The size on those is great. These are those, and if someone of you can tell me what they're called, that would be wonderful. It's really nice to have all these bead experts on here. Okay, 3. You know, this time when I do this goes so fast. It goes very fast. I get off and I call Tina, and we don't stay on long because Candy's going to come on. Now, Candy, I think, is coming on late today. 1, 2, 3, 4. And sometimes we get talking, and then we were like, oh crap, we gotta go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm gonna pull you down a little bit because I see that I'm not really necessarily on the camera. Okay, we got those on there. We got those on there. Maybe I wonder what this would look like if we add this now. Isn't that a cute little star? I think I want to add that at the end. So I really like these. Let's see, there's only 3 pearls. Oh, I wish there was 4. Because I probably would use those pearls. But I can just put 1 pearl in here. This is a cute little pearl. Let's see if it'll take the whole. Yep, we got it on there. Pearl. It's got a little pinkish sheen to it, so it goes really well. Now I want to add some of these. Well, wait a minute. Do I want to add this? Yeah, let's add this bead. This pretty, pretty bead. Looks like a painted bead. I'd been making earrings all this time, and I was like, you know, I'm getting a little tired of making earrings. Maybe it's time to make, let's see, maybe it's time to make a bracelet and a necklace, especially when this came in the mail. I was like, yes. Now, I don't normally design live like this, but today I'm pushing myself just a hair to do it because this designing is my favorite thing. It really is. Yes, Sarah, they're glass. They're the, she calls it something, maybe crystal? No. She has a specific thing she calls them, but they are glass. And I do like them a lot. I love the size, and the color for this design here is just excellent. Okay. Oh, let's see. I love those. Aren't they pretty? These are those old, funky looking glass. Let's see. Let's add one of these. Let's see what this looks like, design. Let's add that. The holes in that vintage bead are big, so the beads in between are going inside of it. So I might want to add, let's see, I'm going to add an extra bead there. That's what you have to watch with those when they have a bigger hole in them. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, that works. I just put 2 of them then to make it work. It fills up the hole, keeps it from sliding, and then it looks like the way I want it to look. So we live in the country, and we had It would have been better if we'd have just had a dirt road. And I imagine at one time it was a dirt road. We've lived on this road for over 20 years. And it was so bad that like the last 5 years, it was awful. I mean, they fixed it so many times. It looked like a kid with bad acne. It was just awful. Awful. Absolutely awful. So anyway, they finally paved it. And I was so excited. But then when they paved it, it was really too hot to walk the dogs on it then. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Well, see, now it's not going up in there, is it? Let me push that up in there. Nope, it doesn't want to go up in there now. There we go. That looks good. Couldn't really walk the dogs because it was way too hot on their poor little feet. Well, now it's been wonderful. And because the road was so bad for so long, we don't hardly get any traffic. It's wonderful. Sarah says they are high quality. The glass beads are? Yeah, aren't they nice? I'm going to have to look and see what other, let's see how big these are. I'm in love with the size too. With the price of what pearls are now. Yeah. So let's see. Let's look at the centimeter. So I guess that's centimeter. So that would be right there on, it goes right there on the dial. So is that 1 centimeter or, yeah, that's 1 centimeter or 10 millimeters. So that's a 10 millimeter because we always talk millimeters in jewelry stuff. So it's a 10 millimeter. Perfect size. Love it, love it, love it. So now right here with design, there is no right or wrong. Really, there isn't. But I'm thinking I want to break the colors up. Sorry, this is how I do it. I'm going to put these pearls on. I just love these pearls. I want to see if I want to put anything between them or just leave them as they are. You know, are you like me with color and that like, okay, I wanted to break it up a little bit. I want to put something in there. Are you like me with color a little bit? You look at all the cars, the new cars that come out with the color designs on the cars. Yeah, I always notice the car designs. I'm going to stick this in between here. It's sort of like looking like, I think I heard a long time ago that either something with car colors or crayon colors that they come out with, they're vice versa. It was either the crayon colors or the car colors influence with the other. And so I've always noticed that the cool colors of cars that come out, and where is the box of crayons like that then? You know, where's the crayons? So now I'm trying to push that bead down into that bigger bead so you only see one. And you can see two. I don't think that matters, but I don't like that if you don't see it at all. So I'm trying to squish that down in there. Fill that gap up. Let's see. Yeah, it's not filling it up, so I must not need it. So I'm going to just take one of them off. Let me be mindful of my time. I try not to run over when Candy comes on, but at Nostalgica, if you don't know who that is, but she's coming on late today, so I don't have to worry about that. Here is pretty pearl, pretty glass pearl. So what are you all guys making? I really wish that we could I know that this service allows people to come on and talk, and I really wish I could bring you on so that you guys could give your input and talk. It would be so much fun. We've tried it multiple times, but it won't let you. So let's see, how far we got now. See, we're at 6 and I only got 1.5 inches left. And I don't even have any of these cool other beads on there. So we got to get these beads on there. So these beads are long. I think I'm just going to put them on without anything in the middle. What do you think? Does that look funny because we had been putting something? That one's a little odd shaped. I want to get a different one. Since we're only putting 3 on there. Yeah, it needs something in the middle, doesn't it? I like this a lot. Let's see. And that comes to, yep, see, we're at my limit already with those. Should have only put 3 of those in, but that's okay. I can make another bracelet, can't I? Let's see if I put this in here. Those rose quartz are long. Let's put this bead in here. This is where I said that, and if I was doing this by myself, you know, like, I don't know what you love doing, but if you sit down and like, if you get into a movie or you get into something and you're engrossed with it, when I design, I get very engrossed with it. So chatting and doing it at the same time is going to be a new skill to learn. Let's see, there is a bead in there, but it's hiding. So let's see if I add 2 of them. I'm going to add 2 of them so that you can see one. Let's see. The dog's down there licking my foot. That dog loves the lick. Isn't that interesting? Now, it doesn't show it. Oh, I got 3 on there. We don't want 3. Just want 2. See how it goes inside that bead? That's what I want it to do. So that you can see 1. Oops, I didn't put 1 there. Let's put 1 there. So thanks for coming along and hanging out with me today. I love to, and I'm not a natural teacher, but I am natural at making jewelry and designing and just being with people and having fun. And that's what I want to do here. What I do hope to build eventually is I would love to have, you guys can tell me your thoughts on this. I would love to have where we have set times where we just get together, come on screen, like maybe on Zoom. I have a Zoom account, and we could just make jewelry for like an hour and a half. Just have jewelry making time. Doing this live helps me stay on task and make jewelry. I love that part of it. I do. I am never bored. I can always find things to do, and unfortunately, I can get so busy that I haven't made jewelry in a long time. And I'll sit down here and piddle almost all day when I get done on the live. Okay, I like that. I really did want to add, let's see how long this is. And that clasp is, it is pretty long. The clasp is almost an inch itself. So I can add maybe, let's see, what can I add? I don't want to add that one. Let's just add this one, I guess. This is a really cute little star. We could add this one as just into the design, or we could just add that as a charm and connect it to the base of the hand or on the hand. But I think I'm going to add that clasp to it. So let me see what I'm coming up with now. Yep, I'm right at my limit. I sat this out here to show you that I have these little swivels. And so sometimes if you don't have a swivel, you could add that to the swivel if you had space and room for it. It's kind of a cool look. And then you could use it on either end. You could use it as a connector. You could use it like that if you wanted. Here's a little bit bigger. That looks kind of cool in some designs. I actually like the bigger, but because I'm using this hand, I can't really add that one. I probably would add that one. So we're ready to close it up. So I only added 1 of those rose quartz. What's funny, and I'll just confess, this is jewelry confessions. If I wasn't doing a live, I wouldn't finish this off. And I would take it apart and do it a zillion times. And then on the zillionth time, it would finally be ended. That's how I did this one. I just did it till I cut it. And I took it off, I don't know how many times. The only thing about this little clasp on this one is, I don't know, it's very pretty, but I have to be very careful because on both sides it snaps off and, it comes right completely off. It's kind of different. So the only thing holding it's that little snap. Anyway, so what do you think of that? My other thought is, if I were to do this over again, which I'm not going to finish it because I probably am going to do it over again, I think I want to go get green beads and put them in between. But I think that's pretty. I love that hand. I know I've said that a zillion times. So now I'm just going to show you in the last part of the time. I am going to let you help me. And I think I would need to add more of these in there and take a few of those other ones out. So I want to make a necklace. And I want to do the same thing. I want to add these beads in there with the necklace. And I'll probably have this done today to show you next week. And this, I found this cool looking glass stone. Isn't that cool? Now I know it goes great with the color. What do you think with the color? Like that bead goes, these beads here go. And then of course earrings. Yeah, let's add those. They got these pearls, the green pearl and the white pearl, and these beads here. How's that? I got these little stars too, with the little star on the front. Not sure about that. They have these. We have these we could put in there. I don't know if I like that or not. So then they gave these little gold rondelles. You could use silver if you wanted instead, but they came with gold. I don't know. These here, well, they're nice. I think because I added this here, these here are like, they're not these smaller ones. They're not really, I'm not feeling it with those in the color wise. They're, so I think when I take these off, when I take this apart and redo it, I'm going to add these over here and maybe only add one of those over there. Let's see, what time is it? Yeah, I don't want to go too long, but Maureen likes the look of the 3 rose quartz tubes. Yes, they are really cool. They are very, very cool. I hear you down there, buddy. You want to come up and say hi? Here's another thing that I could add to the end. I thought this would be a cool design piece. It's kind of got a little purplish green. And it's a pearl I bought for $18 in Hawaii when I was there. But when I travel, I always look at isn't that pretty? It's just got a very pretty design on it. And that would look really, really pretty right there on that one. I think that's more of that than this. I like both, but I really, really like that one. I think that one's going to win out. So I'll post a picture of this when I get done. That's going to be the hard part with me doing jewelry live with a bracelet or a necklace, because I'm going to have to probably map it out before I come on the live, because I just take it apart too many times. That's what I did with the goldish one with these stones. Isn't that something? My brain, I'm getting to the age I can't remember these things, but I think it's because I didn't learn them. Sarah told me what these were earlier. They're my favorite stone. How can I forget the name? Opals. How can I forget? I want to have opals in every color. Every color. But I love how these turned out. These were a gift from a friend, and so I wanted to make that special to go with my necklace that I did. I think I showed you the necklace last time. But let's see if it's down here yet. I repaired it. It was broken. This is one of my favorite necklaces. I made this. My husband went with me to the bead show years ago, and he bought me this strand of opals. And so I made this opal necklace. I made it really long. And I love tearing apart old pearl necklaces. So I tore apart this old pearl necklace. And then I added this leaf. I painted it, patinaed it. That's the original color. And then I had added, you know how they always have on those old pearl necklaces, they have the drop piece at the back. That's what this is. I always think they're cool. When I find two matching ones, I make earrings out of them because I think they're so cool looking. But this is one of my favorite pieces, and so I wanted to make a neck or bracelet to go with it when my friend gave me some opals, and so I did. Here's a cool old button. Oh, I did show this last week. What I wanted to show you, though, what I thought was interesting, if you look really close, the opals were on a graduated size. I didn't really want it to be graduated. So look how I added them, and you can hardly tell. So anyway, that's that cool piece. Thanks for letting me share that with you again. I now I just got to make me some earrings, and I got enough opals left over to make some earrings. But thanks for sharing my table with me today. My puppy is being a little something. Let me turn my phone back. Turn you back. Hey, come here, puppy. Come and say hi. I know you've been so patient. Now where'd you go? Did you have to go potty? Are you pottying in the corner? Don't you potty in the corner? Come here, buddy. What are you running away for? What are you running away for? Come and say hi. Come and say hi. Yes, come and say hi. Come and say goodbye, everybody. Say have a nice day. Say have a nice day. Say have a nice day. Bye now. Happy birthday, Tina. Bye, everybody. Bye.